10 minutes till closing. One pleading look left. One plastic clamshell decides your whole weekend. This is our top 10 rental wall legends. Stick around for number 1, the cover that turns your backpack into a trading post. Welcome to Top 10 from the 90s, your cozy neon nostalgia countdown. Tonight is the story of every kid who learned to judge a game by its cover to win the rental wall gauntlet. We're ranking the 90s box art that made you beg your parents based on across-the-aisle recognizability, Friday night ubiquity, schoolyard hype, and the still crave factor. No clips, pure still image icons. Countdown starts now. The flaming basketball and blocky NBA Jam slab screamed arcade adrenaline from the sports aisle. It mattered because it promised instant party mode. No seasons, just chaos and catchphrases you could hear from the cover. As sim-heavy realism took over later, Jam became a time capsule of pure spectacle. But that blazing ball still equals 90s fun in one frame. Blanca lunging and Chung-Li mid-kick packed motion into a single still, with the Capcom logo doubling as a neighborhood tournament invite. It mattered because it turned the fighting game wave into a living room ritual and made 6-button pads into playground status. As 3D fighters and endless revisions arrived, this home port art stayed the snapshot that started the rivalry era for everyone. We sprinted past sports and straight into after-school grudge matches. Once you believed a cover could deliver bragging rights, you chased mascots that felt like instant friends. An orange blur with a manic grin stood in a jungle gateway while the jagged Crash logo yelled from a wall of gray PS1 spines. It mattered because it announced Sony's mascot with pure attitude you could spot from 20 feet. As 3D platformers evolved, remasters kept the marsupial fresh, but that first cover remains PlayStation's loudest hello. A glossy pre-rendered jungle packed with DK, Diddy, and Kremlings looked like a tech demo you could take home. It mattered because it flexed late SNES power and fueled debates about graphics before you even flipped the box. When real-time 3D became standard, the sheen faded, yet that busy jungle remains the poster child for 16-bit swagger. By now, we'd learned a secret language. Orange means attitude, gloss means tech flex, and when a box could shout a headline without words, you grabbed it before anyone else did. Sonic and Tails flanking an enormous metallic 2 over Sega's checker grid distilled confidence into one image. It mattered because Sonic Tuesday turned a date into an event and co-op into a promise for little brothers. As Sonic's 3D era zigzagged, collections and remasters kept that giant 2 immortal as the cleanest pitch in the series. Wing kept Mario soaring across a bright sky with Peach's castle below, declared in one still that 3D had arrived. It mattered because the cover alone sold the leap, light, floaty freedom before the demo reels did. Future platformers refined the blueprint, but reissues kept this art as the moment everything turned. We started the decade side-scrolling. One cover later, we were flying. And once flying felt normal, mood was the new megaphone. A field of white space, the cool green Meteor logo, and cloud facing the Shinra Tower made the box feel cinematic and expensive. It mattered because it mainstreamed JRPGs by promising an event, not just a grind. The remake era reimagined the spectacle, but the original's quiet confidence still outshines busier box art. Pierce Brosnan's tuxedo stare, the slanted 007 logo, and orange fire over black telegraphed blockbuster action and 4-player chaos. It mattered because it turned sleepovers into split-screen boot camps and normalized console shooters for everyone. As licenses shifted and online shooters took over, the nostalgia and occasional re-release kept this cover an instant party invite. Sometimes, the wall didn't sell gameplay, it sold a weekend identity. You weren't just renting a cartridge, you were booking a role, spy, hero, legend. And then the wall went gold. A regal gold field with a Hylian crest, master sword, and shield glowed like treasure, even behind a plastic rental shell. It mattered because it set the standard for 3D adventure and framed the quest as myth, not menu. Special editions in the 3DS remake echoed that gold, keeping its royal minimalism the franchise's most iconic seal. The wall taught us restraint can be louder than explosions, which is how a minimalist crest could beat a collage, until a pair of monsters make the lunchroom roar. 2 covers, 2 tribes. Charizard blazing in red, Blastoise charging in blue. The entire pitch explained at a glance. It mattered because it turned versions into identities, and the link cable into a schoolyard economy. Trade, battle, brag.
Countless remakes followed, but those 2 boxes remained the apex of pick-a-side playground culture because the rental wall was a pressure cooker with a closing time clock, and these covers were the clearest signals under fluorescent lights. We balanced early 90s cartridge icons, Sonic 2, Street Fighter 2, NBA Jam, mid-decade tech flex and mascots, Donkey Kong Country, Crash, and late-decade event games, Mario 64, Final Fantasy VII, GoldenEye, Ocarina, crowning the only covers that turned a handheld into a social contract, Pokemon Red and Blue. Each pick wins in a single still. Flames, chrome numerals, wing caps, meteor logos, tuxedos, gold foil, and version colors you could spot from 20 feet. Loud promise versus quiet prestige. Flaming balls and spy fireballs versus the hush of gold and white space. Mascot magnetism. Big eyes and bigger logos outpunching any bullet list on the back. Event energy. A date you remembered. Sonic Tuesday. A leap you felt. Mario Sky. A myth you believed. Zelda's crest. Social gravity. Covers that didn't just sell gameplay, they sold who you'd be at lunch on Monday. Here's the circle closed. We started as kids praying the right box meant the right weekend. We ended fluent in the language of color, foil, pose, and logo. Today, those same stills still work on us, on t-shirts, posters, and remasters, because the promise they made under fluorescent lights was honest. Pick me, and your weekend becomes a story. Your turn. What cover made you beg the hardest? Was it the gold of Ocarina, the meteor of FF7, the chrome 2? Or did Charizard win your allowance war? Drop your number 1 below. Hit subscribe for more neon-soaked countdowns, and I'll see you next Friday night. Same wall, same plastic clamshells, brand new legend to grab.